Hello and welcome to this demo. I'll be taking you through DigiTax Zambia, a dashboard walkthrough. We'll go through this following steps: creating an account or logging in, creating a profile and a business, then within the business, managing items, customers, invoices, debit notes, credit notes, and purchases. There'll be a follow-up video on API walkthrough. So if you're familiar with the dashboard, kindly get to that video if you're integrating. Without further ado, let's get to it. What you're seeing on the screen is our landing page, digitax.tech. And on the right, we have our login or sign up forms. On the left, this is where you can get specific links, and by clicking on request demo, you can get in touch with our customer success team, and they'll get back to you in terms of getting to understand how Digitax can support you. So specifically to the links, if you're in Kenya, at the very bottom here are relevant links for Zambia as well and Nigeria. So since we're doing this for Zambia, at the very bottom, I'll just specify that integrations is for API integration docs. Support is for how you go about using the dashboard. So anything non-integration wise. Invoicing news is our newsletter where we share news and a lot of content worth noting. The rest are social media links under LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. This is our phone number for Zambia, and we have our email. So back to the right here. In terms of creating an account, you have the options of using Facebook, Google, or Microsoft corporate or personal accounts. This allows you to have single sign-on, meaning that you're not going to enter an email or password if you already have these existing accounts. Alternatively, you can enter your first name, last name, then enter your email. Optionally, you can enter your phone number and password. So with this process, our system will send you a code both to your email, and if you've included a phone number, also to your phone number, to confirm that you own those accounts. And then after that, you'll be good to sign in. So back to sign in, I'll use my personal email. Before that, I'll direct your attention to privacy and terms. So if you click on any of these links, it goes to privacy and our Digitax privacy and policy and terms and conditions, respectively. At the bottom right, we have our Digitax chat. So here you have relevant links to the API website and support center. And you can also look at our support articles here. If you go to messages and start a conversation here, our team will get back to you as soon as possible to unblock you. And that's about it in terms of the introduction there. So I'll enter my email, digitax@namiri.tech, and enter my password. If I enter a wrong password, I am notified. If I'm not sure about my password, I can click forget password, and I'll get a link on my email to confirm that I I still have access to that, and I'll be able to update my password. Other methods include, if you have a phone number, then we can also send a code to your phone number. As you can see here, we can also send you a code to your email. So let me go back here, enter the right password, and click continue. All right, and click continue. I am now logged in. So still on managing your account, once you're logged in at the top right, you can click on that and click on manage an account. So under profile, you can update your avatar by uploading an image or entering your first and last name, updating that. By default, we have this avatar that has your initials. You can include a new email address, a phone number, or connect an account, which I had mentioned earlier, Facebook, Google, or Microsoft. And you also have the option of removing an email, but by default, your account always needs to have one email. Under security, you can update your password, add a two-step verification or 2FA by clicking on Authenticator application. Then you'll scan this QR code, enter the code that follows after, and then 2FA will be registered. You will also see a list of active devices. So if you're logged in into more than one account or device rather, you can be able to delete that account access. Please note that a logged in session can time out anytime between 5 and 20 minutes. So we have that as a security measure, but it's still possible that you might have active accounts within that period. All right, so we are done with the accounts level. So the next thing is to now create a profile. So within DigiTax, DigiTax helps you in creating e-invoicing, electronic invoices. And for this, you need to have tax entities, which are called businesses. So you could have many businesses which you're managing as a stakeholder or as an owner. So instead of listing all those here, we have a profile, which is like a folder of businesses. So that's the concept here. Every business needs to be within a profile. So the first thing is to create a profile. I have several here, but I'll click on add profile to let you know what are the steps you need to do to make. So you need to enter your profile name and country. We support Zambia, Kenya, and Nigeria. We have presence in those countries so far. And you specify whether this is a business profile or a personal profile. This distinction here is generally for your reference, so that if you're scrolling through and you have many businesses, you can be able to tell this is a business type and maybe another one here being a personal type. So since I already have a profile, I'll just go right into it. But as soon as if you're new, if you create a profile, you'll see a card like this. The idea is to click on it to go to the profile. These three dots here, or ellipses, allow you to edit profiles. Once you click that and click edit a profile, you can specify a new name to this. So I can call it just simply Zambia and update that, for example. As soon as I'm done with that, you'll notice every action that you do, we have a toast at the top right here, like this one reads profile updated successfully. So I've clicked on that, and now I'm in the profile page, which contains businesses. So I already have one business, but let me just show you how this looks like. when you are adding a new business, you need to specify the TPIN or taxpayer's PIN, display name, and whether this is a live or test business. So I'm happy to, I'll create a business here. If I'm creating a test business, then this TPIN can be any series of 10 digits. And then I'll call this Zambia business and select this as a test by default. A test business allows you to explore features without those actions impacting your business's transactions. So kindly create this for testing purposes, and then if you are ready to now go live, then the idea is to create a new business and select it as live. There was a notification at the top right there that an email has been sent to my account, and that email contains the next steps you would need to make when with your business. So I'll just share this briefly. As you can see here, this is the email on the next steps. So we'll let you know that for this business, you need to now activate, and there are a few steps here. There's a commitment form. You need to fill in, log into ZRA Smart Invoice dashboard, and upload the commitment form. So back to this. Now I have this business, and I can go. I have these two businesses. I can go ahead and go and enter the business page. So on the business page, this is where you perform your transactions. Every invoice needs a line item, so that's where we start with the items. And optionally, it could have a customer, and the customer here is someone who is paying for the service or physical item, and they've given you their ZRA pin. If they don't give you a ZRA pin, consider that a non-customer. At least you won't be able to register them. I'll show you that in a bit. So let's start with creating an item. A typical item will be like cement. So I'll go with this example. The item type code, there are three options. Raw material is specifically for manufacturing companies. Finished product is an item that has stock, and a service is an item that doesn't have stock. So in this example, I'll go with the finished product. And a classification code. This is a list that has been shared by ZRA. It's part of a universal list. For you to get a specific code, you can type a few characters to filter through. Like if I just type cement, for example, let's see, there are quite a number of examples here of cement, but the very top is worthwhile classification. So I'll select cement clinker. And a packaging unit, the question to ask yourself is, how is this item packaged? And cement is typically packaged in bags, so I'll go with that option. And a quantity unit code is, how is this measured? So there are a few options here, but I understand that cement is packaged in kilograms. Then the next thing here under UPC or barcode, UPC is unique product code. So if you already have an existing system of how you code your products, then you can specify this. So it's alphanumeric. I can say 1, 2, 3, or E, for example. All that is optional for you. I'll skip that for now for purposes of this demo. And under VAT, you can also still filter. So I'll go with the standard one, standard rated. And in Zambia, we have several tax codes that can apply to one item. So for this example, I'll go with the not applicable for the rest. But yes, fill this section as appropriately. Then the country here is the country of origin of this product. I'll specify Zambia, at least origin in regards to how it's in that transaction, to whom it is being sold to. And I'll specify that it is 1,000 kwacha and leave this as blank since it's optional as well. So that's about it in adding an item. I can review in case there's any issue or I need to update something. I can go back. As you can see, PC was empty and also commanded price was empty. So I'm happy with that and I'll save this item. And with that, yeah, notified that it's been added successfully. Notice that the status is pending. At the time of this recording, this seems to be the case, but this may vary for you that it is complete. This points to our system. We have a queuing system that since DigiTax sits between ZRA, the Revenue Authority, and you as a tax entity, we notify you where this transaction stands between the tax entity and the regulator. So this is pending, but you can still be able to create sales with this. And I can also update stock since I won't be able to create a sale without this item being stocked. So I'll add sale, specify any of this. I can just simply call this adjustment and specify that I'm adding 30 bags. And stock is adjusted successfully like that. I can click the eye icon there to view and notice that this DigiTax ID here with the prefix item underscore becomes relevant when you're doing an integration. So we have it available there for reference. So items can be added manually like that, or you can upload it. You can upload items as a bulk upload, where you'll download this template, save it, and then edit it, then upload that CSV. So this process will be referenced in support center, so you can review that there. Once you're done with that, you'll upload that, select this checkbox and save items. The items will be updated. You can search by item name and also filter by status and also dates. So that's about items. The next thing chronologically is to create customers. As I mentioned, customers are optional, especially in transactions that are probably B2C and the customer themselves has not given you their ZRA PIN. So these are the fields that one requires. So there's a name here. Let's go with John, for example, a certain TPIN like that one, a phone number like that, and the rest should be optional. Email, address, and this field here is whether this is an LPO customer or not. So I'll say this, and we have a customer created. I can search by name, phone number, and also filter by start by date and also status as well. So with that, now I can go to sales and I can now generate an invoice. So in terms of adding a sale, I'll click on add sale, specify the date. Automatically our dashboard picks the date today. We have the options of whether this is a normal, export, or LPO, and the currency as well. I'll leave those as the defaults there. I'll specify cement. You can add more description like a particular brand and etc. I can edit the unit price or leave it as the one that was put in when registering the item. and maybe let's sell 13. I can, if should I enter 30, 31, for example, you notice that that exceeds. So I can specify maybe 3 in this case. Discount is either by rate or by amount. To specify rate, I'll need to enter the range of 0 to 100. And if it's amount, I'll specify the amount itself. So I'm good with this without a discount, so I'll specify that. And I can click continue. And customer details, let me create an invoice without a customer first, and then I'll create another one with this customer. So I'll skip this step. And a unique trader invoice number, this is a range between 3 to 50 characters. And typically this will be your ID on the invoice end if you have a system or if you have any other process around how you create these invoices before joining DigiTax. So it could be alphanumeric. I'll skip that for now. And also general invoice details. This is where you can enter further details like maybe payment process, payment options, etc. So I'll skip that as well for now. So I've reviewed, everything looks okay. Notice the decimal places is up to 4 decimal places, and you can see status is pending still, but you'd expect it to eventually move to complete. At the pending stage, if I was to click on the under actions and view invoice, notice that some actions are disabled here. You would expect to see a QR code here, the tax breakdown, and this metadata here. But that's not happening at the moment because this is a pending invoice. I can add a credit note, which won't be available at the moment because this is pending, and I can also add a debit note. Instead of creating this invoice one by one, I can bulk upload this by downloading a template, editing that template, and then eventually uploading that CSV, specifying that I acknowledge those records and upload that. So that's the process there. I can search by receipt or smart invoice number or filter by date and status. I can also generate a report. We have a few buttons there to make it easier, like this year, last year, etc. I can specify the date, the status rather, or the date specifically, like to the granularity or like that, or also the status. By default, this is sent to my email, whoever is logged in. And if you want to have someone else access that, then you can add them as a member or download the report and then send it to someone else, forward it. So under purchases, you can create a purchase by adding a purchase. You'll specify the payment type, the item, the unit price. So let's go that I'm creating a purchase by cash. Unit price here, maybe I'm buying it at 900, and quantity, let's call it like 12. So that's okay. I can click continue. I'll need to have a supplier, so I can add a supplier here, enter their name, maybe it's DigiTax Nigeria. Have if I have a branch, DigiTax Nigeria, specify this tipping, the email and phone number optional. So I'll just skip those. Add that supplier, use that supplier in this purchase. I can skip this trade invoice number, etc. Let's confirm that, save this. Yes, and we have a purchase ready, as you can see here. With this purchase, I can link an item, this cement, to my cement and save this. So with that, now my items should be updated stock-wise as well, as you can see here. The rest is pretty straightforward. We can view the credit notes here and debit notes as well. So under credit notes, I can create a credit note here by specifying the smart invoice number, search through it and select that. Debit notes are created from the sale tab. We talked about customers. ZRA notices here, these are notices coming in from ZRA, so you have a list there. And the import list, in case an item was crossing borders and this tipping was included in that import, then you'll see the list here. Last but not least, for this video is integrations. On the integrations tab, you click on add API key and specify a name. This won't be necessary if you are not doing an integration, but I'll close off with this section. And you specify API key. License key is for plugins, DigiTax plugins, which is a separate section of our. It's a separate offering we have. But if you're doing specifically your integration, this is what you use. Click generate key, and then once you copy this and save it, this is the only time you'll have access to it. So kindly save it securely, then use it in the integration. For testing purposes, we have an interactive API documentation, which the link is shared, is available there when you click here. So you can use that API key for that purpose. To wrap things here, I'll talk about membership. So on the profile level, you can add a member by specifying their email address. They need to be logged in first, and then whether they are an admin or regular. An admin role can do everything that I've done initially, creating a customer, creating an invoice, items, etc. But a regular role will only view the entities and create a report. Nothing more. They cannot create invoices like. And after that, you can specify which particular business you're giving access to. And with that, under manage members, you'll see that they have access, and you can be able to view a member, edit the member, specify which businesses they have access to and also remove that member. Still on sharing, there is a granular sharing on the business level where you click on the business card options, then click on manage sharing. You enter the email as well and give them access. Under manage sharing, you'll see whoever has access. So that's about it for this video. Let's catch up on the API walkthrough next. Thank you.